Hi, I'm Estrella. For 30 years, I've poured my heart and soul into Cielo Azul Vineyard, transforming my late husband's family land into one of California's premier wedding destinations. When my son Michael announced his engagement to Vanessa, I was thrilled until the wedding plans began. Mom, you should see this place Vanessa found. It's called Cielo Azul Vineyard, Michael said over Sunday dinner, his eyes bright with excitement. I nearly choked on my wine. Cielo Azul, that's interesting. The website looks amazing. Vanessa's already contacted the management team. I carefully set down my glass. And you didn't mention to her that your mother owns it? Michael shrugged. I thought it would be fun to surprise her later. Plus, she's so independent about planning everything. Independent is certainly one way to describe it, I said, remembering how Vanessa had declined my offer to help with wedding preparations. Give her a chance, Mom. She's just stressed about making everything perfect. The following week, I met my friend Elena for lunch. How are the wedding plans going? She asked, stirring her iced tea. Apparently, I'm not supposed to know. Vanessa has taken complete control. Elena raised an eyebrow. And how does that make you feel? Like an outsider. Yesterday, Michael mentioned they've booked Cielo Azul. Your vineyard? Does she know? No, and Michael thinks it's amusing to keep it secret. That's concerning, Elena said, her forehead creasing. Have you met with them about the details? Vanessa's meeting with Marcus today, my vineyard manager. I told him to treat them like any other clients for now. My phone buzzed. It was Marcus. Estrella, we need to talk, he said, his voice tense. I just met with your future daughter-in-law. And she's demanding extensive renovations before the wedding. When I mentioned consulting the owner, she said, and I quote, "The owner will do whatever we want if they want our business." I sighed. That sounds like Vanessa. There's more, Marcus continued. She specifically mentioned you shouldn't be involved in any decisions regarding the venue. What exactly did she say? She said, Michael's mother has outdated taste and doesn't understand our vision. We'll handle communication with the venue directly. I felt my chest tighten. I see. I'm sorry, Estrella. I thought you should know. After hanging up, Elena reached across the table and squeezed my hand. What are you going to do? Before I could answer, my phone rang again. It was Michael. Mom, he began, his voice strained. I need to tell you something about the wedding. What is it? Vanessa thinks. She thinks it would be better if you weren't involved in the planning anymore. Not involved? It's my son's wedding. There was a long pause. She actually thinks it would be better if you weren't at the wedding at all. What? I felt like I'd been slapped. She says you're too controlling and you'll ruin her perfect day. I tried to change her mind, but she's adamant. And what do you think, Michael? My voice was barely above a whisper. I don't know what to do, Mom. I love you, but I love her too. Elena watched as tears filled my eyes. Michael just told me Vanessa has uninvited me to their wedding, I said after hanging up. At my own vineyard. She did what? Elena's voice rose sharply, drawing glances from nearby tables. And Michael is allowing this? He's caught in the middle, I said, though my heart ached at his failure to stand up for me. No, Estrella. There is no middle when someone uninvites your mother to your wedding. My phone buzzed with a text from Marcus. Bride requesting meeting with owner tomorrow. What do you want me to do? Tell her the owner will meet her at 2 p.m., I replied, a plan forming in my mind. Elena leaned forward. What are you thinking? I'm thinking it's time to meet with my future daughter-in-law in my official capacity. The next morning, I called Michael's sister, Lucia. Did you hear what Vanessa did? Lucia asked immediately. I did. Has Michael spoken to you about it? He's miserable, Mom. He called me crying last night, but he's afraid of losing Vanessa if he stands up to her. What do you know about her family? They're coming to the vineyard this weekend to see the venue. Her parents divorced when she was young. Her father remarried and essentially abandoned her. Her mother raised her alone and struggled financially. Vanessa's always been obsessed with status and money. That explains some things, I murmured. What are you going to do? Lucia asked. I'm meeting with her today, as the owner of Cielo Azul. She doesn't know? Apparently not. Oh my God, Lucia laughed. Can I be there? Please? Actually, yes, I'd like witnesses. Later, I met with Marcus to prepare. She's demanded extensive customizations, he explained, showing me a list. Changes to the main hall, special lighting, exclusive use of the entire property for 3 days. What would this cost another client? At least double our normal rate, which she's refusing to pay. She expects family discounts even though she doesn't know your family. Has she signed any contracts yet? No, she refused until meeting the owner and negotiating better terms. Perfect, I said. At exactly 2 p.m., Vanessa arrived with her wedding planner, Diane. Marcus escorted them to my office, where Lucia and I waited. Mrs. Morales? Vanessa stopped short, confusion crossing her face. What are you doing here? Hello, Vanessa. Please have a seat. I'm here to meet with the owner of Cielo Azul, she said, remaining standing. Yes, I know. That's why I'm here. Vanessa's eyes narrowed. I don't understand. I own Cielo Azul Vineyard. I have for 30 years. Her face paled. That's not possible. Michael would have told me. Michael did tell you his family owned a vineyard. You never asked which one. This is ridiculous, Vanessa sputtered. Why didn't anyone say anything when I made the reservation? I instructed my staff to treat you like any other client. I wanted to see how you'd behave when you thought I wasn't watching. The wedding planner shifted uncomfortably. Perhaps we should reschedule this meeting. No need, I said calmly. I understand you've uninvited me to my son's wedding at my own property. That's between Michael and me, Vanessa said defensively. Lucia leaned forward. No, it's between all of us now. Vanessa glanced between Lucia and me, then forced a smile. There's clearly been a misunderstanding. Of course you're invited to the wedding, Estrella. That's not what you told Michael, I replied evenly. Wedding planning is stressful, she said, her voice softening. I may have said some things I didn't mean. Like telling my son I have outdated taste and would ruin your perfect day? The wedding planner, Diane, cleared her throat. Perhaps we should focus on the venue details. Yes, Vanessa agreed quickly. We're still very interested in having the wedding here. Are you? I asked. Because according to Marcus, you've demanded extensive renovations while refusing to pay standard rates. We assumed there would be a family discount, Vanessa said, her tone hardening. You weren't aware we were family until 5 minutes ago. Diane interjected. Vanessa, perhaps we should consider alternative venues. No, Vanessa snapped. This is the perfect location. Everyone's already been invited. To a wedding where the mother of the groom isn't welcome, Lucia pointed out. Vanessa turned to me, eyes suddenly brimming with tears. I'm sorry, Estrella. I've been overwhelmed with planning the perfect wedding. Michael loves you so much, and I was jealous of your relationship. That doesn't explain uninviting me. It was a terrible mistake. Please forgive me, she pleaded, reaching for my hand. I withdrew it. Forgiveness isn't what's at issue here. This is about respect. I respect you, I do. Your actions suggest otherwise. What do you want me to do? Vanessa asked, desperation creeping into her voice. I want you to understand that actions have consequences. Are you saying we can't have our wedding here? Her voice rose sharply. I'm saying that Cielo Azul is not available for rental to clients who disrespect my family. You can't do that. We've sent out invitations. Actually, I can. No contract has been signed. Vanessa's facade cracked. This is about control, isn't it? You can't stand that Michael chose me over you. This isn't about Michael's choice of partner. It's about your choice to exclude his mother. Fine, have it your way. Vanessa stood abruptly. But you're making a huge mistake. My father knows powerful people in this industry. Your father who hasn't been involved in your life for years? Lucia asked innocently. Vanessa's face contorted with rage. You've been investigating me? No need. Michael tells us everything, I said calmly. Not everything, Vanessa hissed. He doesn't tell you how suffocated he feels by your constant interference. Michael's voice came from the doorway. That's not true, Vanessa. We all turned to see him standing there, face pale. Michael! Vanessa's tone instantly changed. Your mother is trying to ruin our wedding. I heard everything, he said quietly. How could you uninvite my mother and then lie about it? She's manipulating you. She owns the vineyard and never told us. I knew she owned it. I wanted to surprise you, but now I see that was a mistake. Vanessa grabbed his arm. We can work this out. He shook his head. I don't think we can. Are you choosing her over me? Vanessa's voice rose dangerously. I'm choosing respect and honesty. Vanessa snatched a crystal paperweight from my desk and hurled it against the wall. You'll regret this! All of you! Security escorted Vanessa from the property while Diane apologized profusely. I had no idea, the wedding planner said, gathering her materials. I've never seen her behave like this. After she left, Michael collapsed into a chair. Mom, I'm so sorry. I should have stood up to her sooner. Yes, you should have, I agreed. But I understand how manipulation works. What do we do about the wedding? Lucia asked. Michael shook his head. There won't be a wedding. 2 days later, Elena joined us for dinner at my house. How are you holding up? She asked Michael. Better than expected, he replied. It's like waking up from a bad dream. I keep seeing red flags I ignored. Vanessa's mother called me, I said, refilling our wine glasses. Apparently, Vanessa's done this before, attached herself to wealthy families, created divisions, then played the victim. What did her mother want? Lucia asked. To apologize, and to warn us that Vanessa might not give up easily. As if on cue, my phone rang with a call from Marcus. Estrella, Vanessa is here with what she claims is her lawyer. They're demanding to speak with you about breach of verbal contract. I'll be right there, I said, hanging up. Duty calls. At the Vineyard, I found Vanessa and a nervous-looking young man in an ill-fitting suit. Miss Torres claims you verbally agreed to host her wedding. He began uncertainly. I did not. And I have witnesses to confirm no such agreement was made. She says your son promised. My son doesn't own this property, I interrupted. Furthermore, Miss Torres destroyed property and made threats against my family, which is why she was escorted off the premises. That's a lie, Vanessa shouted. We have security footage, Marcus said calmly. The young man paled. You didn't mention any of this, Miss Torres. Because it's not true. They're conspiring against me. Perhaps we should continue this conversation another time, the man said, gathering his briefcase. You can't leave. Vanessa grabbed his arm. I'm paying you. Actually, you haven't paid me yet, he muttered, extracting himself from her grip. After he left, Vanessa turned to me. This isn't over. It is, I replied. Any further harassment will result in a restraining order. 2 weeks later, Michael, Lucia, Elena, and I sat on the Vineyard terrace, watching the sunset. I received a wedding invitation today, Elena said, sipping her wine. Not yours, Michael. Vanessa's. What? He asked, surprised. Apparently she's marrying someone she met 3 weeks ago, the son of a hotel magnate. We all stared at her for a moment before bursting into laughter. Do you think she knows his mother? Lucia asked. Poor woman, I said, though I felt no pity for Vanessa. Michael raised his glass. To dodging bullets and the mothers who help us see them coming. And to Cielo Azul, Lucia added. The vineyard that saved my brother from a terrible marriage. As we clinked glasses, I thought about how quickly life can change. One moment you're uninvited from your son's wedding. The next, you're celebrating its cancellation. Have you ever had to stand your ground against someone who tried to push you out of your own family? What would you have done in my position? Let me know in the comments below.